And with that, I have the privilege to welcome our Honorable Mayor, Mayor Jones. Please.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Philip Jones, the Mayor of Newport News. During my 10 months as mayor, I've had the opportunity to attend numerous groundbreakings, ribbon cuttings, and other events. Each experience has been exciting, as I've had the opportunity to connect with residents, business leaders, and community change makers. However, I think today's event and the announcement that is getting ready to be made may make today my favorite event so far. I have the honor of welcoming you to Jefferson Lab this morning. Newport News is a city that is truly built on breakthroughs. Scientific innovations and achievements take place at Jefferson Lab every single day. This lab is an incredible asset to our city, to our region, Commonwealth, and our world. In addition to numerous jobs and business revenue and resources, this lab offers multiple opportunities for education, research, and commercial investments. That's why Newport News has directly invested over $64 million to support Jefferson Lab and its growth over the years, including acquiring this land and constructing the Applied Research Center. And much more is on the horizon. Thank you, Governor Youngkin, as well as our other esteemed guests, for joining us for this historic day in Newport News. And a very special thank you to Senator Warner for all of your efforts that made today possible. In Newport News, our breakthroughs are meant to impact today and transform the world for future generations. I'll take a moment of mayor privilege to recognize Mayor Duval, who is the youngest mayor of Newport News, and I know Mayor Price is very instrumental in this as well, so I appreciate both of you gentlemen. Today's announcement truly demonstrates this mission and will revolutionize science and research. Thank you to those in the room who worked tirelessly to make today possible. Newport News is a city on the move, with so many more exciting discoveries to come. Thank you very much. I think next up is going to be Mr. Henderson, and we'll start the presentation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mayor Jones. Thank you, distinguished guests, and those from our laboratory and wider community who are joining us here this morning. Welcome to Jefferson Lab. Today is a day that is on par with the day that this lab was founded, in terms of its impact, not only for those of us who work here day in and day out at Jefferson Lab, but its impact for Hampton Roads, the Commonwealth of Virginia, and the nation. This morning, the Department of Energy announced that Jefferson Lab has been selected as the site for the High Performance Data Facility Hub. We could not be more thrilled to be leading this ambitious project and to host this world-leading, state-of-the-art scientific facility, the HPDF Hub, right here on Jefferson Lab's campus. Jefferson Lab was selected from among all Department of Energy science labs to lead the High Performance Data Facility project to design and build this $300 to $500 million scientific facility in partnership with Lawrence Berkeley National Lab. What is the HPDF, you're probably wondering? In the words of Geraldine Richmond, the DOE Undersecretary for Science and Innovation, high-quality research data is the rocket fuel of the artificial intelligence era and all other forms of emerging technologies. That research data powers discovery and innovation across all facets of knowledge and technology, making our nation more prosperous, more secure, more resilient, and healthier. DOE and Jefferson Lab are known for conducting basic research to unlock the secrets of our universe, what we're all made of and how the universe came to be. But DOE's scientific mission goes well beyond that. DOE is the leading producer of scientific data in the world through its large-scale scientific facilities and research programs. The HPDF will bring new capabilities to unlock solutions to our nation's energy, climate, security, and health challenges. The HPDF will be the world's leading purpose-built facility for data-intensive scientific research, a new tool that will allow researchers to access, to analyze, and utilize the vast trove of cutting-edge research data. HPDF's supercomputing capabilities will be powered by artificial intelligence in an interconnected research environment. In fact, HPDF now sits at the heart of a new paradigm for carrying out scientific research and making scientific discoveries. The Department of Energy's bold plan calls for the high-performance data facility to operate within a hub-and-spoke system of interconnected facilities and computational resources, allowing us to tackle scientific challenges across the full breadth of scientific fields. The HPDF hub will be located right here at Jefferson Lab and will include mirrored capabilities at Berkeley Lab. HPDF will be a national resource that will serve as the foundation for advancing DOE's ambitious integrated research infrastructure program, which aims to provide scientific researchers and engineers the ability to seamlessly meld DOE's unique data resources, experimental facilities, and advanced computing resources to accelerate the pace of scientific discovery. Jefferson Lab's experts will partner with the experts from Berkeley Lab as one integrated team led by Jefferson Lab to deliver this world-leading facility. I'm sure the big question for this audience is, what does HPDF mean for Virginia? Today's announcement is nothing short of a game changer for the city of Newport News, for Hampton Roads, for the RVA 757 megaregion, and for the Commonwealth of Virginia. We have had such tremendous support from everyone gathered in this room today because you shared our vision for the HPDF and what it could mean for Virginia. HPDF means that world-leading capabilities in the fastest growing sector of our nation's economy will be located right here. To give you an idea of the economic impact, a recent study showed that each dollar invested in high-performance computing returns $507. I think any of us would like that kind of return on investment. HPDF means incredible opportunities for our Virginia University partners, research grants and growth of new programs, capitalizing on the expansion of data sciences in our universities, research opportunities and internships for our students, and advancing Virginia's tech talent pipeline. HPDF means jobs at Jefferson Lab, not only scientific computing professionals, but cybersecurity and information technology professionals, project management professionals, procurement professionals, and the list goes on. HPDF will turbocharge entrepreneurship, innovation, and technology startups, which are both well-timed and aligned with all that's underway across Virginia and right here in Hampton Roads and the RVA 757. Just look at the Tech Center development 200 yards from where we're sitting. HPDF means even more opportunities for local impact in K-12 STEM education and expanded partnerships with our community colleges. And it means exposure, excitement, and inspiration for young minds in Newport News who can see firsthand what the future could be. Finally, HPDF diversifies Jefferson Lab's scientific mission. I cannot overstate the importance of diversification and the new vistas that this opens up for Jefferson Lab and for our future. Today, we're the world's leader in fundamental nuclear physics, a legacy that is at the heart of what we do every day here at the lab. But tomorrow, we will begin diversifying across scientific fields where this type of cutting-edge data science capability is key, opening up new prospects for Jefferson Lab to engage, to confront, and to address the most pressing challenges faced by our region and our nation. This day simply would not be possible without the incredible support and teamwork from everyone assembled in this room. You have all played a key role. First, a big thanks and shout out to the High Performance Data Facility project and proposal team led by Amber Bainline with support from David Dean. Small but mighty, you didn't listen to the skeptics, you kept at it and delivered. Congratulations and thank you. To our Berkeley Lab partners, thank you for your outstanding support and enthusiasm for this partnership. We look forward to working closely with you. We thank our other national lab partners at Oak Ridge, at Argonne, Brookhaven, Princeton, and Stanford for your support and enthusiasm. Thanks to the Department of Energy who are entrusting us to take on this critical role for our nation's future. Now to you, our elected officials and stakeholders. As a lab, we could not ask for more steadfast support. Our congressional delegation has been unwavering, consistent, insistent, and enthusiastic in ways that have been absolutely key to our being here today. Senator Warner, your tireless support not only for Jefferson Lab but for the DOE mission and the HPDF has been critical, and we're forever grateful. Senator Kane, your tireless support on behalf of the DOE, Jefferson Lab, and Virginia has been absolutely critical. Congressman Scott, thank you for your 3 decades of hard work on behalf of Jefferson Lab and our community. Congresspersons Whitman, McClellan, and Kiggins, likewise, thank you for your enthusiasm and tireless support. We are so fortunate to have a delegation that has been united in its support for Jefferson Lab, the DOE mission, Virginia, and our community. The Commonwealth of Virginia has delivered unprecedented support for and put its full weight behind Jefferson Lab's bid for the high-performance data facility by making nearly $50 million available to enable HPDF by funding the construction of the shell building here on Jefferson Lab's campus to leverage DOE's investment in the high-performance data facility. Thank you to Governor Youngkin and the members of your cabinet and staff for your incredible support. A big thank you to Virginia's General Assembly who proposed and codified that support in law, with a particular shout out to Senator Monty Mason leading the charge, with help from delegates Shelley Simons, Marcia Price, Amanda Batten, and Cliff Hayes, who are with us here today. House Appropriations Chair Barry Knight, Delegate Mullins, Senators Locke, Lucas, Barker, Howell, and Norman, who could not be here today to celebrate with us, but played a critical role in making HPDF at Jefferson Lab possible. Our Virginia University partners, you embrace the vision for HPDF and have been tireless supporters as we work with the General Assembly and Governor's Office to make this happen. I want to thank President Hemphill from Old Dominion University, President Rowe from William & Mary, President Sands from Virginia Tech for your 4-year journey with us on this adventure. President Williams from Hampton University and President Kelly from Christopher Newport, who have recently joined the HPDF bandwagon. President Adams Gaston from Norfolk State University, President Miller of Virginia Wesleyan and our community college partners, President Constant of Tidewater Community College, and President Porter Bannon of the Virginia Peninsula Community College. The city of Newport News has been an extraordinary host that has been consistent and tireless in their support for the lab throughout our nearly 40-year history. Thank you to Mayor Jones and the team from the city and the City Council, represented by Councilman Cleon Long. We are also fortunate to have our support stretch beyond Newport News' borders, evidenced by the attendance of Mayor Pons and Councilwoman Barbara Ramsey of Williamsburg, Mayor Tuck from Hampton, and the chairman of York County Board of Supervisors, Thomas Shepard, and many other representatives from local and regional government who are with us here today. And finally, to the Friends of Jefferson Lab and our local stakeholders, there are way too many of you to call out by name. Alan Witt, who leads the Friends of Jefferson Lab, and Nancy Gurdon, who drove the ground game, deserve special mention, but this entire group of government and business leaders showed unwavering support for the lab and the HPDF project. Diverse groups and businesses from the Virginia Peninsula Chamber of Commerce to the Hampton Roads Military and Federal Facilities Alliance to the Hampton Roads Executive Roundtable, as well as representatives from community groups to construction, healthcare to hospitality, banks to business, energy to environment, have advocated for the support for the high-performance data facility. Thank you. You've been enthusiastic, you've been vocal, you have always been deeply supportive of Jefferson Lab and our shared vision for what it could become. This is truly a team effort. It took all of us working together. Thank you, thank you, thank you. With that, I would like to invite our speakers up for a little unveiling of what the high-performance data facility may someday look like. So maybe 2 each to one of these. Mayor. think the plan is on the count of 3, we'll lift those off. 1, 2, 3. Hey! Governor Youngkin, thank you. That's what your support is going to deliver. Artist rendition of a bill. Thank you so much. So with that, I would like to invite up Senator Warner to make some remarks.
Well, thank you, Stuart. Let me just, how can I build on what you've already said? I know one way. This is the single biggest technology investment in Hampton Roads ever. I want to thank Stuart and his team. You could write a small novel or a very long article on the 4 years of twists and turns of how we got here. There were lots of sleepless nights. I'm going to thank Micah Barber from my staff, who's been intimately involved, but we have had more twists and turns on this project, and it was enormously competitive. All 17 of the national labs across the country were able to participate, and Jefferson Labs won out because of the extraordinary team, the support from our regional universities. And I want to give a special thanks to the governor, Monty Mason, and the General Assembly members, because even when it looked like there might not be a budget this year, in the skinny budget, there was still the $40 million. That building on a previous $3 million meant the Commonwealth of Virginia had extraordinary skin in the game to make sure that as we made our case to our federal partners at DOE, that this would be a long-term substantial partnership, and I want to thank them as well. I want to thank, obviously, Tim and Bobby and the balance of the congressional delegation. I know Rob Whitman is not here, but many of those conversations we started under the previous administration. I know Dr. Chris Fall is here. There, yes, thank you, Chris, thank you. Again, the twists and turns of how we got here are too long to present at this morning, but it was a journey, and it required that congressional delegation, bipartisan, across the whole Commonwealth being involved. I see my dear friend Alan Witt. The Friends of Jeff Labs came together, I think, was it 4 years ago, and because it was a recognition. And we can acknowledge this now, and Stuart made mention of it. There are very few national labs across our country that had the kind of single purpose that Jefferson Labs had up until this morning. Now, with this high-performance data facility, we have a dual-purpose national lab, and the long-term prosperity, existence, and success of Jefferson Lab for literally decades to come will come out of this announcement. So thank you, Chris, and thank you for all the friends of Jefferson Labs for having that foresight to be here. I was going to go through in detail the exact things you already said about all the computing power that's here, but since there's 4 more people, they're going to say exactly the same thing in a moment as well. I will not go through this. You know, AI is the hot topic of the day. I recently had Tim, over at one of your facilities here in Newport News, we had a meeting with the mayor, and there were 75 plus companies, mostly all from the peninsula and from the south side, that were AI and machine learning companies already located here, many of which I was not aware of. They will now have this world-class facility to interact with. I see so many of our friends from our colleges and universities. This kind of academic collaboration is also going to be a home run and a great, great winner. What we're talking about here, and there was, again, the competition was enormous. But the federal government will be chipping in between $300 and $500 million as the initial play. That will come in over a number of years. And let's be clear, and I think all of us here, that will move along as long as we don't have another government shutdown. So, you know, let's make sure, Bobby, your colleagues in the House, you know, we kind of get that speaker in place. We don't get past November 15th. We got a budget so that we can make sure that we add on to the investment that Virginia has already made. I do know this, that our congressional delegation is completely united. I again want to thank Monty and the governor and all the members of the General Assembly and Barry Knight, who carried a lot of the water on the House side as well. This is a great, great day for Newport News, for the peninsula, for Hampton Roads, for the Commonwealth, and ultimately for the country. And now it is my great honor. And this was the part, we've got two current governor, former governor here, and I think sometimes they just like to be introduced as governor. When I had the opportunity to be the governor, I loved the formal introduction. So I am going to now formally introduce the next speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming His Excellency, the 74th Governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia, Glenn Youngkin. See, they always say enough. You got to make sure that happens every time.
Thank you. Senator, thank you. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for recognizing that a single person generally can't get done what is done today. It takes everyone. And I want to thank everyone, because it is not just a collaboration of those here, it has been a collaboration of those over time. And that is the remarkable part. A baton gets handed, teams get formed, substitutes get placed, and yet the momentum never stalled. And so thank you all for either being on the team at the beginning or being a very important substitute along the way, but boy, did the team perform. What an exciting moment it is to be breaking ground. And I don't mean the physical ground. I mean the ground of scientific exploration. You see, when I was studying engineering in college, and I know many of you did the same, I would go line up at the mainframe building, and I would have my Unix code written, and then I would try to have it go manipulate and analyze a whole bunch of data. And somewhere in the next 4 or 5 days, I would emerge from that building with something that looked like a graph trying to prove a point. And what we're seeing today is the future brought right here into the present. The future not just being accelerated, but being realized. And that is so exciting. Think of the future possibilities based on supercomputing technology that can digest and analyze an unlimited amount of data. The things that we're going to be able to discern, the hypotheses that we're going to be able to prove or disprove, this is extraordinary. And this is why it is so exciting to have it right here in the Commonwealth of Virginia. This is a result of collaboration, local, state, federal, Republicans, Democrats, senators, House members, the institutional capabilities here at Jefferson Labs, the various universities sitting around the room, private sector, public sector. Everybody could see the benefit. Everybody could see the impact. And there was not a single naysayer other than maybe those trying to do the same thing at the other labs. But I'm so proud to be able to stand here today and envision what the high-performance data facility will represent. And it's truly the vision of this facility that makes it most remarkable. See, it's not a building, it's a hub. And as you've heard it described, it's a hub that is linked literally like neurons around the nation with, a mirror image on the other side, and we can't wait to work with our friends from Lawrence Berkeley National Labs. I guess since Berkeley and Stanford joined the ACC, we might as well go ahead and collaborate all over. But this is at the heart. This is at the heart of game-changing research. The integrated research infrastructure that is the umbrella here has a vision. And the vision will depend on a cornerstone hub right here in the Commonwealth of Virginia. And this hub and spoke model will unlock the kinds of research that we know is at the heart of giant leaps. From material science to environmental modeling to continuing nuclear research, which we know is so important. These monumental steps will in fact unlock the future. And I have to say to all of our great university leaders here, I can only imagine the excitement that is happening with all of your faculty. What's next? How do we tap in? How do we use this? And I'll let you all answer all those questions because I'm sure your inboxes are already full. But here's the additional advantage to the Commonwealth. Not only are we going to unlock this technological wonder, but it is going to be an economic game changer as well. You see, now that we are home to the HPDF, and it just rolls right off the tongue, the Commonwealth positions itself at the forefront of innovation. And at the forefront of innovation, doors are open, opportunities are created that fundamentally change the future of everyone in this broad ecosystem. An ecosystem that, yes, is here in Newport News, and yes, is here in Hampton Roads, and yes, is here in the Commonwealth of Virginia, and yes, is here at the heart of national research and innovation. I expect that the private sector will innovate just as fast, and that collaboration will only accelerate the opportunities. We will see huge high-performance computing companies want to co-locate, want to collaborate, want to share. We will see workforce development like we've never seen before. And that's not just people moving here to be part of this, but it is the next generation of aspiring scientists and innovators who today, as they are studying algebra in 8th grade, which is our new math standard, but today, as they are studying how to take advantage of this great capability, you can see them dream. And that is what is so exciting. So, in just a very clear word of congratulations and one of thank you, I want to make sure that we take this chance to truly celebrate. As Senator Warner just said, this doesn't happen every day. And when we have an exciting moment like this to reflect on how we got here, I hope one word comes to mind: together. And that is at the heart of this success. It's not just an exciting announcement, it is a monumental leap. And it's one that we are all doing together. And so now it is my pleasure in thanking our other senator. And I want to say thanks to both of you. I know how hard you both worked. See, from the moment that this great privilege of serving 8.7 million Virginians started for me, the three of us were talking about this project and how important it is. And that's why when it came to putting in a budget amendment, there was no issue. It was a collaborative moment between the executive branch and the General Assembly. It was a collaborative moment between state government and federal government. I've spoken to every mayor about this. This has been one of these collaborative moments. And so, Senator Warner, thank you again. And with that, it is my pleasure to introduce Senator Tim Kaine.
Well, this is going to be my speech. Brought it up with me. I just want to say how excited I am to be with everyone today. And one person I want to thank who has not been thanked is Jennifer Granholm. I have known Secretary Granholm, the DOE Secretary, for about 20 years now. And as we're giving thanks to the DOE for wisely choosing Jefferson Labs for this data center, I just wanted to put that out there to Secretary Granholm, how much we appreciate her and the DOE's confidence in us. It's great being here, an excellency and two ex-excellencies, and to be here with so many friends to celebrate. And I'll just make my comments about three things: chapters, talent, and cooperation. Chapters of Jefferson Labs. This lab goes back to about 1984. Congressman Scott was in the state legislature then. He was first elected to the House in 1977, and by 1984 was in the state Senate. So he has lived with this since before it began. And Jefferson Labs, like any great institution, is going to have chapters. You just don't do the same thing. You need to look for new opportunities. When Jefferson Labs was chosen as one of the 17 labs focusing on nuclear physics research, it had this signature asset that it still has, the racetrack, the accelerator. My father-in-law, Linwood, who some of you know was the head of the Center for Innovative Technology under Governors Wilder and Allen, he used to describe it in his Big Stone Gap way as the doggonest bumper car you've ever seen. But the nuclear physics chapter is a chapter that will continue because it will only become more important. But the thing that's exciting about this announcement, and Stuart, you underlined this and you said it cannot be overestimated, is the diversification of the mission here. And that's why I brought this up. And please, you might want to gather around when this is over to check it out. Because to today, Jefferson Labs has been one of the 17 national labs. But look at this. The anticipated users will be all DOE Office of Science laboratories. This will now become the hub for every one of those labs, not just one of the labs, however well constructed. This will be a research foundation for all of them. In addition, university research groups, industrial partners, potentially other federal agencies for sponsored research as well. The $300 to $500 million is the capital investment cost, but the down-the-road cost of the investments in this lab by those users will be significant. And then finally, to expand on what the governor said about what are the uses to which this facility can be put, listen to this. Development of new materials for energy applications, fundamental physics, genomics, pandemic modeling, environmental modeling, pharmaceutical development, energy efficiency, advanced manufacturing, and specific emerging needs of industry. So this is a fantastic opening of a new chapter for this facility. The nuclear research will continue to be important and will only grow more important, but now it's not just a sizable investment, it broadens the foundation of what will happen here. So important. Second, talent. An announcement like this only happens because the DOE looks at Jefferson Labs and says, this is a place of talent. So it's a validation of a talent strategy. But what we've learned, and Governor, you and Senator Warner and I have been together at other great announcements, Boeing or Amazon, the institutions that choose Virginia because of the talent we have, that choice also then becomes a magnet for more talent. When you attract talent and reward talent and celebrate talent and incentivize talent, then you attract more talent. You attract the talented people. You attract the talented institutions, companies that want to be around talent. Look what DARPA has done in Arlington in terms of springing up an ecosystem of other innovators who want to surround that. The same thing has happened here since 1984, but will accelerate with this announcement. Talent is the most precious resource in the world. It's not water, it's not oil, it's talent. And the societies, commonwealths, communities, cities that know how to attract and grow and incentivize and reward and celebrate talent are going to be the ones that you want to bet on in the future. And finally, it's about cooperation. And those who've spoken before me have done a good job of talking about just how many stakeholders. These are tough projects. They take a long time. It's got to be local, state, federal, business community. It's got to be Democrats and Republicans. The project that we've been pitching for Jefferson Labs has changed over time. You have to be flexible. All that takes cooperation. All that takes cooperation. And one element of cooperation, as I introduce the next speaker, because he really is the hallmark of this, is the way the Virginia congressional delegation works together. You know, we have a 13-member delegation, 11 House members, 2 senators. Different parties over time, the numbers change, people come, people go. We have disagreements about plenty, but we still have a monthly lunch. We believe we're the last of the state's delegation to do it, and the 13 of us sit down and we say, whatever else we disagree on, what can we agree on and try to make happen for Virginia? And I will just say that this particular project, a transformational investment in Jefferson Labs, has been on the to-do list of the congressional delegation ever since I came into it in 2013. The dean of the delegation, the person who sort of took over that role that had been really instituted by Senator John Warner, is the elected official who came into office in Virginia before Jefferson Labs even existed and has been a steady shepherd and friend of this wonderful institution during his entire public service career, Congressman Bobby Scott.
Thank you, Tim, for your very kind introduction. It's certainly a pleasure to be here with Governor Youngkin, Senator Warner, Senator Kane, Monty Mason, State Senator, and there's delegates in the audience. Marcia Price and Shelley Simons are the only 2 I saw, and so many college presidents. We were talking earlier, Tim said you can tell how important an event is by the number of college presidents that are here. The college presidents stand up, all the college presidents. And not here are Rob Whitman, Jim Keegans, and Jennifer McClellan, all of whom have been working on this project. Rob, obviously, for a long time, but Jen and Jennifer both visited Jefferson Lab, got that in the schedule earlier this year, one of the first places they came to visit. So it's been a pleasure to work with them on this project. I want to thank the Department of Energy for its unwavering support for American innovation, and thank all of the people here at Jefferson Lab who conducted themselves in a way that made the Department of Energy look this way for this announcement. It's been an honor to represent the district that is home to Jefferson Lab for the, as Tim said, all the time I've been in Congress, but when I was in the state Senate, we've appropriated money, just like the governor mentioned. It was the state and federal partnership. We appropriated money to make sure Jefferson Lab could start. So we needed to come up with that money, and we did. I watched it grow over the years, and while inspiring the next generation of scientists, Jefferson Lab has worked to support STEM education in our local K-12 schools, intern opportunities for our regional universities, all the while performing phenomenal research. And today's announcement is great news for those committed to innovation and scientific research. It's great news for Hampton Roads, and it ensures that J-Lab's future will be as bright as its past. The high-performance data facility will support the lab's continued world-class nuclear research, science research, while building capacity for computing, and that is a great, as it's already been pointed out, a great addition, because the lab will now play an exciting role in supporting processing data across the Department of Energy's network of national labs. And it's also been pointed out for over 30 years we've been concerned about J-Lab's singular focus, and with today's announcement that concern will come to an end. So J-Labs continues to demonstrate the benefit of investing in basic science, whether improving cancer treatment or enhancing resilience, and it will be exciting to see what pursuit of scientific discovery in high-performance computing space will be seen here in Jefferson Lab. So thank you, Jefferson Lab, for all you do, and we're looking forward to this exciting future. I'm pleased now to recognize the state senator who represents Jefferson Lab and who is really leading the charge in the General Assembly, Monty Mason.
I would guess at this point you're saying, what has this guy got to offer, right? But 10 years ago when I came to the General Assembly and I toured here very quickly, I was a little embarrassed to note how little I knew about the incredible work being done here. So then I went out into the community and started talking about it and realized that I wasn't alone. And then went back to Richmond and started talking about this facility and realized that a lot of my colleagues knew very little about it. So you've heard about the community effort. Soon after, Stewart came, and he realized that it goes far beyond the science here. And he started opening the lab to community days and inviting people in to understand what incredible work is being done here. You've heard the Friends of Jefferson Labs referenced many times. Many of you in the audience are participants there that have helped to spread the word among the business and the professional community in all of southeastern Virginia. And then in Richmond, we began having a lot of conversations. Why does a legislator from Southwest Virginia need to know about what's going on here in Newport News? Because it's making such an incredible impact. So we had those conversations. The Military Federal Facilities Alliance, that's a tough one, always included it in every one of their briefings. So they're talking to the Military and Veterans Caucus, and we're not just talking about our incredible bases, we're talking about Jefferson Labs. And one of the conversations we have in this region in an ongoing manner is the diversification of the economy. So hearing the diversification of Jefferson Labs is just in keeping with that. You've heard us talk about the money. So as soon as this came on the horizon, we thought an opportunity to diversify a small amount of money to Stewart and his team for the planning. And hats off to the team that did all that great work. And then, Governor, you mentioned it, sir, the House and the Senate each had it in the budget, but when it appeared that we'd been a bit of an impasse, the governor sent down this project as one of his recommendations during the reconvene session. So we could continue to show our unwavering support for this effort in Richmond while waiting on agreement. So, you know, at this point, you probably hope a speaker will say something different. But I think it's important to pound home the point that this is a shining example of when we all work together making government work. There are a lot of examples out there that you see that's in question. This is one where our incredible federal delegation relentlessly pursued this with DOE, where the House Appropriations Committee, the Senate Finance Committee, and the governor's office all worked together in Richmond. And then now, because of that effort, the great team at Jefferson Labs, today we are proud to announce that we are opening the next generation for the world of science, for the Commonwealth of Virginia, for the people of Newport News and this region, that generations beyond us will be studying, learning, and working for this facility. My thanks to everyone who had a role in this and for being here today. Thank you.
I really want to offer my heartfelt thanks to everyone who was able to attend this event today. I started out by saying this was a day right up there with the founding, and I think what you've heard from all of our speakers, that's more clear than ever. I couldn't be more excited. So heartfelt thanks to all of you for coming here this morning for this wonderful event. I'm going to bring this part to a close now. I'm going to ask our elected officials, our distinguished guests, university presidents, other big shots in the first 5 rows or so, if we could all exit first for a photo, because this may not happen again anytime soon. This is a once-in-a-lifetime thing, and we need to capture it on film. So if you all could join me, everyone else, please remain seated. What we're going to do is move to some cake and cake cutting out here in the lobby in a moment, and a special HPDF logo cake for the HPDF team to circle around, and we'll get a photo of that.